Hi, I'm back with another update to our deck building website. Last time I showed this, it was a extremely rudimentary website. Since then, I have added a lot of extra features like social aspects, more manual deck manipulation. So we have a full suite of deck building features. Some of this stuff is still in the works. There's some things that I have planned that I haven't implemented yet. Some of the stuff I'll display is is still needs some polish, but I have what I think is a decently working product at the moment. So as I go to show you, because I am recording this on OBS and it uses similar resources that Firefox does, and it's going to feel a bit sluggish. So bear with me, but I would love to show this off to you. So here we have just the basic front web page. You would log in to your to the website. We can go into a user. Oops, no, not this one. Let's go to this one, and then we now have a profile on the right hand side there. So we could search for cards. Uh, this is still need to get fleshed out. I was looking at similar websites like Moxville, Scryfall, how they did their front page, and I really liked it. So I took some inspiration from that, uh, and I've since gone away from the other one, which was more like come buy our app sort of thing, and I didn't like that. I wanted to be really approachable from the jump, so I've redesigned this. We still have our footer here at the bottom, where we say that we're using the data from Scryfall, giving respect to them, and then also allowing you to use your own API rather than using mine and doing some sort of subscription. So that's the plan at the moment. So again, that's really sluggish, me scrolling here. But so we have like a card search tool. You could also search in the other one, but if you were just to do say Chatterfang here, it pulls up the squirrels here, right? It does some of this uh, what is it called? The pre-filtering text or uh, autocomplete. Yeah, it does some autocomplete here, so that's pretty cool. It's just basically a card search tool at the moment. I would love to extend this and add extra features. We'll work on that in a bit. Uh, so I showed off the collection last time, but this time I've made it a bit more polished. I've added an observer effect, so as you scroll through, again, this is a bit sluggish. As you scroll through, it loads more of the collection rather than trying to load everything at once. That made it feel pretty sluggish. We have a updated tooltip here that gives us some of these basic details of our card. Um, we have filtering. We have this sticky search bar across the the card, the collection, my decks, browse, stuff like that. So it gives you a uniformed effect. Each one of them filters slightly different. Uh, you're going to need, additional filtering tools for, say, your cards that you wouldn't need for decks, so on and so forth. Anyways, so this is basic collection. It has like your standard uh, import features. It has, you know, just different filtering tools, whatnot. All right, so going on to my decks, this I've significantly improved from last time. I've chosen to stick to more of the same formatting of the cards, but uh, give you more of a top layer of what's going on with the decks itself. So I've added social aspects to these decks here. Uh, I've displayed whether it's shared. New just indicates like within a relative time frame, and then I've given the deck colors at the top there, and then of course how many card counts, data was created, etc. So as I click into it, the header piece is your name of the deck. You could just click in here and start editing it. Same with your description. You can just start editing this. You can auto calculate what your deck bracket is. This is pretty cool. So here we're hitting a bracket 3 here. Uh, uh, that I will have to go in at a later date. Anyways, going on, just the I wanted something that was where you could easily see your collection and pre-filtered cards that would probably fit in with your deck. So, for example, we're already pre-filtering for Swamp and Forest to give you all of the black and green cards and artifacts that your deck can use. And you could right click on the card and you should be able to add to deck here. Or you can go to Scryfall and start looking up cards that do something that you want. For example, Damnation. Uh, we can go in and add this to our deck if we wanted to, and then it's now added to our main board. We can scroll to the section that this would be added. Oops, don't go too far. And then you could right click on it, and the cool thing here is you could change the version. So the cards come in with a card ID specific to the version, and then each version will have a different ID. So here, if you have, say, the Spider-Man version of this, you could say like I own this one, or another, and you could just change the version outright. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, they have like secret layers, magic promos, all that stuff. All right. Uh, and then you have an indicator whether or not you own this. This is the a little circle with like a brown dot in it. We'll figure out a better way to do this at the moment. Um, you can then also remove it from your deck. You can whatever. All right. So th that's going on. This is really sluggish. Forgive me. It's not like this when I'm not streaming. Um, anyway, so I've also added in a guide feature that you could write up with inside the deck building a in Markdown a guide on how to play your deck. I've added additional features like adding your card name, referencing a user, the Wooburg, and a tap symbol. This is used across the app. It's a component whenever you reference um, the symbols. They come in. That's how you get like the text on the cards or the deck uh, or anywhere you see it. It's just a component that's referencing it, and we're using it here in our Markdown text. So you could see here that when I write this up in Markdown, I can then see and highlight that card, and it'll give us the tooltip for what that card is. This is pretty nice. So you have like all of the standard highlighting features. I do not have code blocks. That's not what this is for. So some of the stuff isn't there for Markdown. Um, but here is just an example of how this can be used. Now, in the deck building feature, everything is tightly packed. But when we get to the the shared deck version, we will see that it's a bit more blog-like, where it's easier to read and not so compressed. There's also a feature that allows you to um, highlight key pieces, combos, stuff like that. But I'm playing with that at the moment. So going on, we can also access the comment section directly here or go to the shared version. So if I was to click the comments, you could see that I created another account and then commented on it, and it was having a conversation. And then you can upvote or downvote just like on a Reddit or something like that. And then you can delete your post, but you can't delete others. Typical stuff. And then again, this is also written in a Markdown light. So if you reference someone or reference a card or anything like that, you could write it up here too, and then preview it just like you would be able to edit. And then you have your analysis. I'm probably going to get rid of this because I've put this in statistics elsewhere. Um, as as I was going through building my deck in the app, I wanted to build it physically, and one of the issues that I was running into is I was like, I want a checklist. I want to go, yes, I've confirmed I've grabbed this card and I now have it. So I've gone through and checked all of the cards that I have, and the ones I don't, which is Parallel Lives, I was able to make a proxy of. So this is my deck. It's green, so it might chroma on you. Anyways, so this is my deck that I built, um, and I basically went, grabbed a card, and was like, yes, I have this, and then I clicked it. What's really cool about this is the search feature up here. I can go just like two, three characters. I can go burnished, for example. Oops, not burnt. Burnished, and I go, I got that one. I then put it down and I go say, like I find the next one and I just put the three characters in. So I got Temple here in my hand, and then I go Temple. I got that one. Okay, next one, Jungle, and then I just go through and say like I physically have it. This is just a an accessibility thing as I was building that I found really nice to have, rather than going and double, triple checking if I have a card and just getting my count right. I don't have to worry about that. I just go, I have it. Um, for example, when I said I made a proxy for Parallel Lives, what I meant is I actually have an export feature that does proxies for me. And what I can go do is I can say that Temple, for example, um, or I can come in here and type out pair pair. Yeah. So there's that Parallel Lives. I can go and create an export of that. Now this is just filtering it. If I didn't filter it, I could still check on the side whether I have cards or not. Maybe I have a physical, but I've used it in, say, a Grist deck, which I have here. I actually stole a lot of my cards that was in my Grist commander deck. Grist is cute little guy here, and he makes tokens as well. Chatterfing makes tokens. They're both Golgari decks. So, for example, doubling season, which you're crazy if you got two, uh, or you just been playing forever. Um, Demonic tutors and stuff like that. So, uh, what I've done is I went ahead and made those tokens for my Grist deck, um, from what I used here. So as an example, if I just took off this filter here and then I went to do an export, this will just show you all the proxies that you can have. And I can then go, let's say we want to deselect and only choose a few of these. Uh, Grim Tutor, Diabolic, and Profane. Come here, Grim. still lagging. So we want to go, hey, I want to print these, and there they are. And then you can go just cut them up and sleeve them with the land behind. This is really great. This is not for the intent to duplicate and sell. This is strictly for proxying to substitute the cards you don't have to play the deck the way you envision. This is more of an accessibility to to basically use cards you either own or play cards that are extremely expensive. Okay, now that we got those legalese out of the way, we also have other features like print list, export text, and copy to clipboard. Copy to clipboard is really awesome, by the way. So you can go and copy your deck and go paste it in uh, another application somewhere that you may use, or vice versa. You could also say import. So I can import. Um, yeah, come on. I can import the same way that I can copy it. So you can take a deck from somewhere else and use it here and have all the tools and features that we're building to play with here. All right. So I mentioned that we could share our deck publicly. Now, this shared deck publicly should be accessible without having a profile. So you, as a deck builder, can go, I've built a deck and now I want to share it with others. You would come here and you would toggle on a share, and then it gives you a copy icon. I mean, copy shared link, and then you can paste it wherever, YouTube, stuff like that. All right, so for now, we're just doing localhost. Eventually, I'll actually have a website. So you can then once you've shared it, you can also see like the likes and stuff that are on the deck. Once you've shared it, you can come in here to the browse deck, and now eventually with people using the app, this will make it quite active. I plan on having uh, favorites or liked or whatever popular decks, decks by bracket or whatever. So here that I've just got the one. Here's my deck list. We've seen and come to love these simple formattings. Here you can highlight the card and see what's available in this commander deck, and it's just here's your deck stats on the side here, and then at the bottom you can have a conversation and thread-based system for comments. So I can come in here and say I want to reply, cool stuff, thanks, dude, and then reply. Okay, cool. So that works. You can also get notifications. That is functioning. So if I was to go outside of this, I want to show you the threading that happens. So it comes to this page and goes straight to the comment section and highlights it momentarily. And then if you were just to look at who liked my deck, so for example, Aiden liked Chatterfane tokens 11 hours ago. I can click this and go to their profile. I can follow them. I can see what they have on offer, and eventually I plan on having additional features here. I don't know if I would have a chat system. This is more of a uh, Reddit-esque type thing, but centered around Magic the Gathering decks. All right. You could also see a simple hand. There's a draw hand. Here's another one. And here's that how to play. As I was saying, it's more blog-like. It's a bit more spacious. I will work on getting everything formatted for mobile in a bit. We could see what's happening here in mobile. So this may not be super optimal at the moment. Oh, we're just turned. Here we go. So things are still okay, but some of this stuff's crowded. It just doesn't look good, but it is in the works. I do plan on making this accessible by phone. All right. So another thing that I've done here, oops, I didn't want to click this one, so it's dragging. Anyways, I want to show you. I made a playtest mat. Now, again, doing this, it's going to feel sluggish, but it feels really good when I'm not streaming. There, I can go and do several of these runs. Uh, I can just simulate like what my opening hand would feel like. I can draw. I can right click and search. Um, there it is, finally popping up. So I can say like, oh, I've got a sack land, and now I need to find a basic forest. So I can go forest, just type it out. There's the basic forests. You can click on one, and it will go to your hand. There it is, and then you could drag this out and play it. Oops, it went all over the place. Um, it's just lagging right now, but you can double click it. It'll tap, simulate your tapping. You know, all the niceties. So for example, I have this Grim Tutor. I'm just going to put in the graveyard. You can also do things like um, pull. You could search your graveyard. You can pull this card back out. It'll put it in your hand. So I've clicked it now. It'll go back in my hand. I can play it again. So if you have like graveyard recursion you want to simulate, you can do that. Same with exile slot, your commander. So one of the things that I've also built here in on creature cards, when your creature has a uh, uh, attack or attack and defense, you can right click and increase or decrease with standard tokens. So for example, I put a 1/1 a counter, sorry, not tokens, I meant counter. Okay, and now it's now a 4/4. So for example, if I decrease this, it'll go back down to that 3/3 that it was before. You can also do sub counters as well under manage counters here. So if you wanted to do the standard 1/1 or 1/0, 0/1, -1, 0, -1, all those you can tweak that number. I've also included counters for other types. I have poison here, and then you can also add your custom counters if you have something a bit more unique. Again, this is all just to help playtest your deck. So, let's see what else. Oh, there's some card sound effects. So, I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, you can't hear it. I don't see it going up. But there's card sound effects that goes on. You can turn those off if those are annoying to you. You can also tweak your uh, color land base in the playtest. I don't have a good accessible way in the deck building aspect of it, but when I came to playtest, I was like, it'd be really nice during playtest if I can tweak uh, how many forests I have or how many swamps I have, and this was really nice. But when I was just going and fetching the first basic forest, it was just giving me your standard forest here. Um, what I've since done is actually in settings now when you don't have any forest already predefined in your deck, what it'll do is it'll go put full art uh, basic lands, and you in settings you can predefine what those basic full art are. So, for example, here I have uh, I have a way to select what uh, your default is. For example, I have the oil slick ones from Phyrexia selected at the moment. Because I added this after I built my deck, I would have to go and delete the forest in my deck and then increase the forest in order to get the oil slick ones. But that's not a problem. I also added other notification features. Eventually, I will have a tab, like a left-hand tab system, and it'll change the content rather than scrolling and going really far down on the page. Anyways, so another feature that I mentioned was an API key. So this is a key that you can go to OpenAI and get yourself, and then you copy the key, you paste it in here, you save it. Now we do not save the raw key, we encrypt it, and then uh, give it back to you when you use um, your login, and then you can update this at any time. You could also remove the key, all that. So it's completely self-controlled. Now, um, what this does is it means that you will have to have uh, money in the OpenAI account. So, for example, if you upload $5, $5 will go a long way with this. I've generated probably I don't 1 million tokens worth of content, and it's only been like $1.90. Actually, I could show you right here. So I'm going to go open up the usage page here in OpenAI.com. So here I'm at 1,042,000. Once it figures out, so I'm at $1.88 for 1 million tokens. That, well, $1.90 something if you're considering the whole month. So for $2, 1 million tokens, and 1 million tokens is a lot of context. So for our use, it's quite so the total request is 218, and you probably do like I don't know maybe 10, 15 requests in a generation. Not to mention you have an optimized feature, which I haven't even showed you. There's so many things that I've done here. So in my decks, for example, if I go to this Chatterfang one, I can come to this optimized deck button here. Um, and I've added some stuff and it's breaking. Cool. This is fine. I will update this later. Anyways, so this is a really cool feature that goes and suggests um, it looks at your lands or your mana base. It looks at your interactions, which is like protection and some other stuff, and then it will give you suggestions on how to tweak that to better suit your current deck. Um, yeah, this is just gonna keep going. Now that it's seen it, it's gonna freak out. Um, well, we're breaking stuff. So the way I could probably just fix this real quick. So it's just a user ID. Yeah, it's a duplicate definition in the optimize that's gonna go fix. So we may have to actually rerun this now. let's rerun this. Okay. So let's go back to my decks and then go to, no, wrong one. Chatterfang was in that one for a long time, and then I created another deck and it moved. Um, all right, so let's see, optimize. Okay, so here it'll run an optimization, checking for synergies, balances, and other opportunities. So this uses an AI context, and it goes and queries the AI and brings back typical suggestions, and then it'll offer some upfront suggestions, and then so we added an extra card earlier. We'll fix that. Um, you have 41s, which may be too many. Consider replacing 6 lands with spells. Low removal count. Consider adding 2 more removals. Yada yada. So here we see our land base, we see our creatures and instances, artifacts. This is all your deck stats. And then over in mana, we can ask AI how best to optimize, and it'll give you some within your colors. It'll give you some standard suggestions, and then with AI, it'll go in and reflect on that and give you more optimized versions. So again, here's your stats based on removals, protections, card draws, stuff like that, and then it will give you additional features here on what to potentially use. And then here in manage, it's basically like I want to remove this card. Um, and so yeah, this is it. All right, so we'll be working on a lot of the AI stuff in the future updates. Those are kind of okay at the moment. They're not what I want to see. So if we were to go through and build an AI with an AI deck, this will give you suggestions. I want to get it tighter. I have a lot of errors when generating at the moment. For example, the list is too large and then it just dumps and then moves on to the next section. What I'd like to do is just take the current list and then um, with minimal context go through and figure out what it needs based on its own knowledge of what those cards are, rather than trying to feed all of the data all at once. That or truncate the information to reduce the quantitative load size that gets put into the AI instead of drinking from a fire hose, you limit that down and reduce the pressure on it. So, but this is pretty cool at the moment. There's a lot of cool features here. Like again, we can go build say a grist deck, which I really like this commander. It's a planeswalker, and then it makes 1/1 pests, and so you can do some pretty cool stuff with it. Here you can say next. You can choose whether you use your own collection or any card or strictly owned cards. So if you do mixed, you have a slide scale of what it's supposed to go and look for. Currently, I think this is not working. Any is the recommended, but you can then change based on the October, I think 25th update. They've um, they've changed how Commander works, and they're going with a bracket system. This started the beginning of the year, but I've fed that information into the AI and said this is what we're working towards when we're doing brackets. And then you can choose archetype, so aggro, for example. I want to do tokens. Yeah, let's go. No, let's go combo, and then just say next, and then you can add additional, so like insect tribal, and then you could put in a budget constraint, um, for example, $100, and then say generate. And then what this does, now you can see uh, it thinking. In other words, I've built tools that say like phase one is building your main win cons, and then it goes searches for like what are win cons. And what it's doing is it goes, okay, here's Grist. This is what Grist does. This is the color. And then it goes, okay, filtering cards, creature types, keyword flying. So it's looking for things with flying. Format commander, limited 50, and then it finds 50 of these cards in this in the black and green color. So here's Old Gnawbone. That's a really good card. You have Steel Hellkite and some others. But this is the actual text that came back. Um, and then now what it's doing is going filtering and moving to the next step. Um, and then just keeps going and down the list. But as we go through, we'll start seeing errors here. So this is the part where I need to look at and go, I'll fix this. But as we go through, we can see that it continues to think and move through the process. It does add these cards to the list. I think at the top here, this is supposed to get updated. It's currently not. Um, And at the end, what we're doing is we're saying like fill the remainder deck with like basic lands. I want to actually fix it because it's supposed to optimize land base. What I want to do is I want to fix it and optimize using um, uh, special lands and with the mix of basic lands to fill that bracket. There's still going to be a ton of manual building for our deck. This is not going to, I think someone mentioned on the last video, net decking. This is not a net deck. This is an accessibility. This is a I have a new commander. How would I use this? Um, and then with your commander, what AI does, it goes, oh, so you have these features. Let me see what's available with those cards, and it may jog your potential to say, oh, I've never thought about using these cards together, and then and just trying to like build something out and seeing if that works. And then you then go and start tweaking and playing with it and building that out. That's the whole purpose of this. Same with optimization. You are still the driver. You're still the end result of how to best build this out. I would like to see maybe a feature of where it analyzes the deck and does a build guide or like how to play guide of what your win cons are, what your key pieces, how 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 to play, what to expect on turn one, two, three, four, so on and so forth. That way, it's just like it's easier, but you still have the option to build all that stuff out. And this way, you can take a lot of the longer aspects of sharing content and you can get through it faster. That's the whole purpose. Because I know there are several people who are like, hey, I built this really cool custom thing, but it took them a long time to do a write-up. It took them a long time to do some stuff. So here, again, some of the stuff got broken, as we've seen in our list. But we have some things like Mind Burst here, Charging Bandits, uh, some of these other ones. So we can then review, say we like this, say we don't, and then move on. So let's go ahead and save this. And this was grist token token insect. Let's write that up. And it's lagging, so I can't see this in real time. And then put a in parentheses and save this. So when we save, it adds it. There's the grist insect here, and then we can we can go and start manually manipulating with all those tools. All right, I think that's going to be the end of it. I know this was long-winded, but I wanted to share with you a lot of the concepts and feature pieces that I've been building and working towards. If you have any suggestions on how I can further optimize this or features that you may think are helpful, what your take is on it, uh, maybe what are things that you're searching for on websites that currently aren't available? How would you like to see um, maybe the AI interact rather than a wizard? Is there like maybe a simpler way to use it, uh, or maybe like go, I don't know, find combos or like all the cool stuff. Um, yeah. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, share with others. Please leave your feedback. I will get to you as soon as possible. All right, peace. Till next time.